Hey guys, Thrasher here, and we have a brand new update in Dragon Ball Legends. Let's talk about it right now. Okay, so first up, there are two new banners that we're going to go through last. One of them is the Masters Pack banner, obviously. So I'll give a rating to that one, but it's going to be pretty obvious. You're probably not going to want to spend a lot on it as it's going to be around for a long time. But let's go ahead and start right here, and we'll get to those as we get to them. So the game update first, essentially they added a whole bunch more of the stories. So story part 5, book 3 for normal, and then they added 2 more parts for hard. They have part 3, book 7, and book 6. So that's cool. The other thing is they've updated various events. Essentially all they really did is there's events that give you the new type of adventures that give you the sausage platters. We'll talk about those a little bit more in a second when we get there. So let's back out of here, and then the next thing that we need to talk about is this event has come back and the hard mode has been added. So let's go ahead and hit details here. You'll see right here they added hard difficulty, and you have to get through EX battle 5 and normal to actually get to that, which I believe is the last one outside of might be a challenge battle at the end, I don't remember. But the other thing besides hard mode, obviously you want to do that so you can get your chrono crystals done, but there is one new equipment item. It is one of those fail-safe items, so it's for anyone of a specific color. In this case it's yellow. It's called I Won't Die. 13% to blast defense. As I've said many times, that's kind of low. We want to be 15% or higher on defense. 10% is kind of low for special move damage. Generally, when we see equipment items like this, if they have special move damage, it's 12.5%. We've seen even higher than that, but that's generally sort of your average. So anything below 12% is pretty low. And then for the strike attack and strike defense, it's going to get one or the other. 18% reasonable. We're happy with anything 18% or higher on strike attack. I would prefer the attack over defense, but I guess it depends on what character you're using it on and the reason for using this equipment item. Again, it is a good fail-safe. So if you have a yellow unit that for whatever reason they don't have many equipment options, you can grab this, but the thing to keep in mind is the defense and the special move damage are a little low. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything else crazy. Yep, we can scroll down here, make sure, back out, and then the next thing is we have our new season of the Ultra Spacetime Rush. I don't really need to go into it. Essentially, they've just reset the Ultra Spacetime Rush. You can go in, get your tickets, so you can do the Rush Limited Summon or whatever that summon is called. And then let's go into the Rising Vegeta battle. So the only major thing here is you can get the free-to-play Vegeta again if for whatever reason you didn't finish him off last time, and they've added 10 new levels, so 101 to 110, and that's not coming out for another, I believe, 7 days. What's today? The 9th, 16th, 7 days. So in a week from now you can actually do those. So if you're anyone who hasn't got through stage 100, make sure to get that all done so you can do the last 10 once that actually comes out. And there's nothing else major here, so we can back out of here, and then if we scroll down here, I believe we're to the Oktoberfest stuff. Sweet, we are. So the Legends Oktoberfest login bonus doesn't really say anything in there. All it's saying is if you log in during, you can get up to 1,000 chrono crystals, so make sure to log in every single day because you're going to want those. But now let's talk about the Oktoberfest itself. So let's go ahead and hit details, and this is another one of those where you're going to get adventures from doing event battles. When you do the event battles, they're going to give you some of these adventures at the end, or you can do PvP and you'll get some of these adventures. Now here's the key, is this time it's going to be sagas from the movies characters. As you can see here, you want to bring the best elements, so it's going to tell you the color you want, it's going to tell you that you need high level characters, you're going to want them to be maxed out to 3,000, and then you want them to be bonus characters, which are episode sagas from the movies. Now I've seen some people that are saying, oh, we have this new tagging system so that we can select characters by specific tags, but we don't have anything for episodes. Well, there's a really easy way to do that, and I'll show you in just a second. We're going to go over to the adventures area. I just want to make sure, I believe there's one new equipment item. It's called Hold On to My Shoulder. 12.5% to critical. That actually may not be terrible because we have all of these characters that can increase critical rate. I'd have to do a little bit of math on it to really see if it's worth it. I don't think many people would run Super Saiyan Bardock at this point, because I think that's really your only option, is you run Super Saiyan Bardock and then you run some other sagas from the movies character that is a Super Saiyan, so that way you can get that critical bonus, but that might actually be viable. And then 18% to strike defense or blast defense. As we said before, 18% is good for defense for sure. And then the real issue down here, 5% to strike attack per sagas from the movies characters, so that gets you up to 15%, which is sort of our borderline bottom that we're okay with. But again, these, whatever roll it is, per member, they always roll super low, so I have a bit of an issue with that. If you want to grab one of these, it's okay, but it is restrictive in being that they have to be melee type and sagas from the movies, so just keep that in mind. But the other thing here is we want to go into the adventures area so I can show you how you can quickly find these characters. Now, first up, I just want to show you, these are the 2 major events where you'll be getting the new Brown adventures as well as PvP. So let's close out of here and go to the adventure area, and I made sure to let all of my adventures finish before we did this so I could show you how this works. So start adventure, and then we'll just start this top one right here. So we want max level characters, as I said. We want them to be purple and yellow, but we also want them to be sagas from the movies characters. So we're going to filter it. We're going to do purple and yellow only, and then as you'll see when you go to the change your designated tag, there's no way to tag by episode, but what we can do is do that fuzzy search that I talked about in the other video. So we go to search, and then you have to do an @ sign, and then you have to type sagas from, I don't remember if it's the movies or sagas from movies. Let's see if that works. Sagas from the movies. So these are all purple and yellow characters. I don't have them ordered by their level. I guess we can do that real quick. Right there. Okay, and then most of these are, well, a good portion of them are 3,000, so I can run this guy, this guy, and this guy, and that's going to get me a very high chance at an enormous success. So that's cool. That's how you do that. Let's go back to the actual news area. And I believe there's only one more thing. We don't need to cover these sales. I don't think these sales are a great idea as far as these tickets right here. You can spend for the crystals. They're pretty much the same price. It's going to give you some tickets that allows you to spend on the banner we're about to look at. Probably not worth it, and we'll explain why right now. So let's close out of this and go to the summon area. There's 2 different banners. So the Legends Return, which we'll talk about in just a second, and then the other one is Masters Pack 3. So let's go down to Masters Pack 3, this right here. So this does have a daily discount, which is nice. If we open this up and we look at the Z Power list, we're going to see that a lot of these characters are pretty old. There's no real top tier character on here. There's a couple that are reasonably okay, but none that are worth full price. And another thing to keep in mind is we're going to be getting tons of tickets for Masters Pack 3. The same way that we get all the tickets for Masters Pack 1 and 2, it's going to slowly move into that over time, so it's probably not worth it to spend full price on these. What I would say though is if you're missing at least 4 of these characters, it's quite a few, missing at least 4 of these characters, then the daily discount is absolutely worth it. Or the majority of those sparking characters that you have are below 3 stars. I would still probably do the daily discount in that situation. The only situation where I wouldn't do the daily discount is if you have all those characters and they're all at 4 or 5 stars, then it's just not worth it. Save your crystals. There's no reason to spend on this because you're going to be getting them for free as we get more Masters Pack 3 tickets. So in my opinion, this is a 2-star Dragon Ball banner. Only do the daily discount for most people. For anyone that's kind of a whale that spent a fair amount or just got really lucky with these characters, don't spend it all. So now let's talk about this guy up here. This one also has a daily discount. Whoops, let's go right here. This one also has a daily discount, and then if we open the Z Power list and look at this, it has a very, very nice array of characters. So the top 3 are all great characters. The 4th one pretty good. The 5th one absolutely phenomenal. The 6th one also pretty good. So as you scroll down here, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, borderline 4 in the Gohan, but then definitely number 4 in the Vegeta that I would be okay with spending full price on if I didn't have them. The Goku, borderline, but probably still okay to spend full price on. The Bardock, obviously not. The Gotenks, borderline again, just because you might be running a fusion team and he has a pretty good fusion buff, so that's something to keep in mind if you don't have him. And then the Goku, not so much. The Gogeta, not so much. So there's somewhere around 5 characters on here that you'd be okay with spending full price on. Obviously, the Super Vegito is the big prize here, and he's still a 0.25% chance, so it's not super high, but let's actually add these up real quick. So the Super Vegito, the Goku, and the Vegeta is 1.75%, so that's not quite 2 on a standard banner as far as characters that you'd want. And then we can add this Vegeta right here, which puts it at 2.5, so that's 2.5 characters on your standard banner that you'd want. And then as we scroll down here, we can add the Gotenks, Goku, and then this Gohan, and we'll call that like 1.5%, because those are all characters that if you don't have, you'd probably want them. So I'm saying this is pretty much a 4% banner. Like, there's a 4% chance you end up getting something that you'd actually care about spending full price. So in my opinion, if you're missing the Super Vegito, let's make this even easier. If you're missing the Super Vegito up top here, or these other 2 characters that are on screen in either of the Super Saiyan Blue characters, then it's probably worth it to spend full price on this for 1 to 2 multis. if you're missing the Super Vegeta, but you have both of these two characters and you're missing 3 of the characters down below that I had mentioned, then it's absolutely worth it to spend 1 to 2 multis on this. That's probably as far as I would go, because I think the real prize to this is the Super Vegeta, and the idea is that you're spending those 1 to 2 multis to hopefully get him, but if you don't get him, hopefully you pick up one of the other characters that you kind of care about in some way or another. So in my opinion, in that case, this is a 3-star Dragon Ball banner. If you're someone who has all of these characters, at least one of each of these, then this is a 2-star Dragon Ball banner and only do your dailies. In the case of the people that I said it's a 3-star, do your 1 to 2 consecutives and then always do your dailies. The dailies are always worth it on this. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys think I missed anything, throw it down below. If you guys like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.